Happy Sunday, Stampers and Paper Crafters. This is Facebook Live number 407. It is Sunday, June 1st, 2025. My name is Joy Borwedge, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. I live in Burnsville, Minnesota, and I have been a demonstrator since August of 1999. I have a super cool card for you tonight, and it's a wow card. And it's not for the faint-hearted, but it's really cool. And it's actually pretty easy to make. It just takes, it's not simple, but it's easy, I guess. It's really cool. I'm going to put you down to the table in just a moment. If you get motion sickness or anything like that, just look away, and I'll let you know when I am done messing around with the camera. Right, so hold on. So hopefully, today is Sunday, you have had a nice weekend. All right, so got to uncover, loosen that up, I should say, untighten. Me and my words. All right, let's see if I could go up just a little bit. There we go. Okay. We're going to squish in. All right. I'm going to move this a little bit closer to me. There we go. Put some light on the subject. Okay, there we go. I think we're good. Are we good? Hopefully you can hear me and see me okay. So again, my name is Joy Borwedge. I have an Instagram page at Stampin' for Joy. My online store is stampinforjoy.stampinup.net. That store is open 24/7. PenguinZ33@outlook.com is my email, so that if you have a question about today's video or anything, you can always come back and check it out and send that message to me, and I'll come back and check it out is what I meant to say, and then I'll answer your questions. All right, so next Saturday is the event that my friends and I are putting on, and it happens to be the first Saturday of the month. Today is June 1st, so we have a few more days to register, and so hopefully you are registered now, and if you're not, hurry up and do so. That way it gives everybody enough time to cut up the product and to make sure. It's also a great place to go to buy retired product that is on sale. There are 5 demonstrators that put this event on. It is in Highland Park, St. Paul. One of the things about making the 16 cards is you go away with 16 handmade cards by you. You don't have to design them. All the hard work is done. All you have to do is the fun work, which is stamping and putting it together. So check that out at thestampinevent.com, and that is Saturday, June 7th. All right, so we have some things to talk about. So if you don't have a demonstrator and you would like a catalog, please let me know. I would like to be able to help you out with that. And now we're going to be working with a suite in this collection, or this catalog. And I need to talk to you about suites, because there is a really cool special that's going on, and it is buy one, get one. So let's talk about that right now, seeing as how, so we're using, hi Sherry, welcome. So we're going to be actually working with the Florals in Bloom Suite collection, and that is on page, it's actually takes up quite a bit. I just want to make sure I'm, all right, so we got 40, 41, 42, and 43. And 43, 44, and 45. So that talks about the suite. So it's a very cool suite collection. We have something that's coming up, and it is buy one, get one 50% off all sweets and their sweet products. So that means that if you buy, say, this called Florals and Bloom Sweet Collection, which is 165193, which is $122.50. And let's look at another sweet collection. Let's say the Turtley Cute Sweet Collection. So if you put this in, you would be paying half price because it's the cheapest of the two, and you put that catalog 165235. You, instead of paying $80.50, you would be paying $40.25. Now, just to let you know that if one thing is sold out, it is not going to be a sweet. So if you say the which is the 2025 to 2027 in colored flat pearls, say these were sold out, that means you cannot use the sweet number. Now also, the sweet special is also for the online exclusives, so check those out. Shop early, because when things sell out, Carolyn, hi, when things sell out, I don't know when they're going to be returning, so, and how long it takes them to get, I don't know what the inventory level is, but this sale goes from June 3rd, today is the 1st, okay, so it's Sunday, and it goes through the 30th. So basically almost one whole month. So this is a really great sweet to, it's a sweet special. Ha 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 ha. SWEET. All right, see what I did there? All right, so let me show you some online exclusives. So this one here is called the Floral Impressions Sweet Collection. And what a sweet means is that there's a stamp set with this particular suite. There are some foiled frame and label ephemera packs. Then there is a folder, and it's called the Press Flower Embossing Folder. Some really pretty strawberry slush and pretty and pink gems. Those are really cool. And this designer series paper is just spectacular. I mean, this doesn't even do it justice. And these are the Floral Impressions 12 by 12 designer series paper. So this is one of those suites that is going to be on that sale. Then also, another one in the online exclusive is this one. And this one is a different suite collection, and it has different products in it. So it has 2 designer series papers. It has a stamp set and the textured notes bundle. So that's the dies and the bundle. You also have some ribbon, the embossing folder, and the neutral matte dies. So this is another sweet collection that is going to be on sale for that. And then another sweet collection is the Mixed Media Florals. So now this is actually a mega suite because it has 2 stamp sets and 2 die sets. So this is actually a really cool one to get on sale. And you also have the embossing folder and the dies, the low profile dots, not dies, I meant to say dots. And then it has the designer series paper, which is, again, absolutely gorgeous. And the suites are made so that way, it's called the coordination, and Stampin' Up! Is talking about that because say you're limited in funds right now, it would be a great way to buy a suite because you know everything is coordinating. Now, this is just the few things that have been in the online suite since March. Now there's more than this. So it's Botanical Suite Collection, the Lovely Garden Suite Collection, the On the Go Suite Collection, and then the ones that were introduced in May, the Celebratory Sips Sweet Collection, the Floral Impressions Sweet Collection, the one that I just showed you. And so those are the latest additions to the sweets. Now go check those out. Then another thing that is that needs to be checked out is the Last Chance products list. These are products that are going to be retired once they are sold out. And quite a few of them are on sale, so check that out. Now, another thing that's really cool that Stampin' Up! Is doing is the virtual album retreat. Now, you will be making 12 scrapbook spreads. And what a spread means is that it's 2 pages. So you're going to be making 24 pages for a scrapbook. And it's going to be January, February, March, April, May, June. So one for every month. And so here are just some ideas of the things that you'll be putting together. You're going to get everything included in this kit. And to be able to put this together, now you're going to have the adhesives, and I think there are stamp sets involved. So, I mean, this is a really great way to introduce yourself to scrapbooking or get those actually started and done. So what's going to happen is that July 18th through the 19th from 2 to 10:30 p.m. Mountain Time, they're going to do a virtual class in a private Facebook group exclusively to those who purchase the kit, which is $250. Now, there are great reasons. There are several demonstrators that actually do scrapbooking events, and they say that this is a great deal, especially when you consider that it's 24 pages. And now the album is not included, so you're going to want to make sure you have an album. But you'll get exclusive access to this Facebook group. If you purchase that kit, you don't have to be there live. You can also go back and watch it. I don't know how long they're going to keep it. It's maybe for several months. I don't know the video, so you could go back and watch that. So that is a really great thing that they're going to do and introduce. All right, so if you have any questions on that, you can always ask me. I will find out the information. All right, so today, like I said, we are going to be playing with the Pretty Florals bundle and the Sweet Blooms bundle. And we're also going to be playing with the textured note dies. These are an online exclusive. Now, as I told you, these are on page 43. And the Designer Series paper, we're going to be working with that. And that's called the Florals in Bloom. Now, we have 6 pages, okay? And then you get 2 of each page. Now, there's a lot of coordinating cardstock that coordinates with this. And we have several of the, actually I think all the in colors are in here. So we have Bubble Bath Cloud Cover, Darling Duckling, those 2 are in colors. Then the Garden Green, Granny Apple Green, Peach Pie, Petunia Pop, Pretty in Pink, Secret Sea, which is an in color, Shy Shamrock, Strawberry Slush, that's a returning in color, Summer Splash, and Timid Tiger, and that's a new one. So we're going to be playing with that. Now let me just kind of show you what the Pretty Florals dies do. So we have quite a bit that you can stamp all these images and you can cut them out. And then you have also standalone dies. technically they're not standalone. You don't stamp, but you can color the calyx of the flower. This piece right here can go on to that. Then you can have different types of stems for your flowers, and then you have separate greenery. So it is a great bundle. Or technically it's a suite, so I love the suite. And so that is what we're playing with today. We're also using the silver foil, and that is on page 115 in the annual catalog. And I like to keep my scraps on one side and my full pages on this side. And then I actually have them laying like this in my new system that I purchased. And I did, I added this to my video on a Facebook Live a little while ago showing what I do with this. And that way I keep the scraps on the back side, and so I can always check out my scraps first. Now here is the card that we're going to be putting together. This is an accordion card. Now I saw this card idea from Tammy White, and I tried doing her measurements, but they didn't work for me. So I actually have different measurements for the card, and so it stands like that. And this would be a great card for somebody to win, and then you would send it to somebody. So what happens here is this is the area in which you can sign, but I mean, it's, if you wanted to attach something else on the back side, go ahead. You could certainly have this one here as white, but I just kind of wanted to coordinate with the designer series paper and make that lovely card. All right, and so I'm going to show you what oh, and I also wanted to show you, we're going to be playing with the Itty Bitty Bokeh mix, and this is the mixed sequins, and it's a mix of stuff, because like this here has, and it just fell over here. This is kind of like a half moon, like a half circle, and so it's raised. And then we have sequins that have like a design on them, and then we have other sequins that are just kind of metallic, and so we're playing with that. And this was part of a suite that was introduced in the spring mini catalog, and it moved over to the online store, so we're playing with that too. All right, so let's get the measurements out for everything so you can come back and recreate this card. All right, so we have 4 pieces of silver foil, and they are 1 5/8 by 5 7/8. So there's 4 pieces with that. Then we have 3 pieces of designer series paper, and this is 1 3/8 by 5 1/8. So I went with 2 of the same and 1 with similar colors that would coordinate. Then a piece of basic white, which is 1 3/8 by 5 1/8. So these are going to be on here. Then we have a piece of scrap, which is basic white, so it's 2 inches by 1 3/4. We're going to stamp on that. We have a piece of the Secret Sea. This is a beautiful dark blue color. It's like Night of Navy and black had a baby. That would be this. So it's 4 inches by 2 1/2. We have 2 pieces of basic white, and they are 3 1/2 by 2. We have a piece of Petunia Pop, which is 4 1 3/8. we have a piece of the Designer Series paper, and that is 3 5/8 by 5 1/8. Another piece of that silver foil, which is 3 7/8 by 5 7/8. And I'm going to show you a trick to save you some of the foil with this. Then we have a piece of Secret Sea, and it is 11 inches by 5 1/2. And we're going to score it at 1 3/4, 3 1/2, 5 1/4, and 7. Okay, so I'm laying this like this, so that way you can come back, get all your measurements, get your paper cut. And if you don't have this stamp set, that's okay. You can use whatever you have on hand. All right, so I am just going to take the drink of my tropical punch. All right. Okay, so we're going to come back and take all this off. Now I'm going to leave that one on, and that way we're going to coordinate. We're going to be doing some die cutting today, and I just want to make sure that I am stamping on the right product and going to score properly. Okay, so we are going to take that and cut this out with our dies. And then we're going to come back and use that for one of the piece that's in the middle. We're going to use that. And so these get attached on those. This gets stamped, so I'm going to leave that. And then this goes on there. So, and then these two pieces also, whoops. All right, so these two go through, and we're going to put that on the side. And this one is going to be our bloom. So that is going to be kind of like the background. And the silver part is actually going to get cut out. So I might as well do them both at the same time. You're not going to see it, but then I'm also going to cut that out and put that on my scrap side. So then that way I am saving the foil. It's not going to make it as heavy. If I wanted to do that with these, I could do that as well. But I don't have anything that I need to cut out, so I'm just going to leave it as is. All right, so we're going to we're going to put that through. We don't need to stamp on it. And we're going to put that through. Okay, so we're going to stamp on these two pieces. And then we're going to grab the Simply Score tool. How you doing, Carolyn? All right, so we're going to score at 1 3/4. Did you register for the event? All right, 3 1/2, 5 1/4, and at 7. Okay. And then I'm actually going to do that again on the back side, just because I want to make sure that these have nice scored markings. Doesn't matter which way you fold it, I want to make sure that it works properly. Okay, so we're done with this one. So we're going to grab the Simply Score tool and just put that away. And then we're going to fold. And we're going to go like accordion, kind of like that. All right? And then we're going to grab the bone folder and just come back in and grab. Now we're going to do the back side. and just get everybody a nice, good burnish. All right, so that is our main piece right there. Okay, so then we're going to put that up at top, and this one, we are going to do some stamping, and all right. We are going to do some stamping after we also die cut. So I just want to get all my flower parts ready to go. And, all right. So that way I don't have to sit there and search for everything. Okay. And you can certainly do whatever color you want. And then, so I just took the color scheme from the designer series paper, and that told me what color inks I wanted to grab. Now we're going to use Petunia Pop, and then Secrecy. Oops, I'm going to do that. Actually, I could probably do this and then put my ink pads up here. And then we have the Stampin' Pad for Garden Green and Pretty in Pink. Now, I did purchase we're also going to use Cloud Cover. I did purchase the, good, I'm glad. Okay, so I purchased the Cloud Cover ink pad because I wanted to show the difference of what's happening. I stamped in this here with the spot and re-inker, okay, and then I took this ink pad and I stamped the penguin. Now over time, okay, you can see that this penguin, which is the ink pad, is a lot lighter and it's kind of more gray, whereas this penguin here has a little bit more blue tones towards the cardstock. So I kind of wanted to show you. So what's been happening is the re-inker, or the ink, I should say, has not liked the foam ink pads. So when you take the ink pad, say you were to buy an ink pad that was foam and it doesn't have any ink in it, and then you take the re-inker and you ink it up, it's going to have the same reaction. So the felt pads, which are made by the little spots, the ink does not react to the felt, and so the color does not change. And so that's the reason why Stampin' Up! Took out, they only offered it to demonstrators, okay? So I just want to show you what I used for Cloud Cover, which was the Stampin' Spot and the re-inker. But I wanted to show you the difference. And now there are, oops, I'm sorry, I bumped the camera. So there are Cloud Cover blends and the marker. And then you have the re-inker. So you can also use, say, like the re-inker on a block and use your blender pens, which are clear, and they can grab that color and then color in. So I just wanted to show you what I used tonight. Okay, so now we are going to take Pretty in Pink, and we're going to, let's see, I think we're going to do the Pretty in Pink, and we're going to take a spoon, and we are going to, I'm going to take the spoon and I'm going to push the ink down into the ink pad. And then I am going to take the Petunia Pop and I am going to take the image of the Petunia Pop and allow that. Now this is the intricate die. I like to take my intricate die first, because then it's a lot easier for me to line up this die, or this stamp, right over it. And there we go. Isn't that pretty? Okay, the ink pad was very inky, so that's the reason why I kind of pushed that down. And I wanted to make sure that it looked the color that I was going for. And then we're going to cut that out. All right, so ready to go on that one. And I'll clean those off in just a moment, because we're going to stamp this. It could be a hyacinth, I think, maybe. So we're going to use garden green and just tap, tap, tap. And we're going to go from the corner. There we go. And then we're going to take the highlight. So this is the intricate die, or intricate stamp, and we're going to put that right there. Allow that ink to transfer. Okay, and that is the Petunia Pop. And then we're going to take the background, and it's going to be lighter. So we could always do the Petunia Pop bottom, and stamp off, but we're not going to do that. All right, so we're just going to kind of line up and just let that ink travel. And there we go. We have that beautiful flower. And I think it's a hyacinth, but I'm not for sure. Okay, so that's on the inside. All right, so that's ready to go. And then we are going to we're going to close up our ink pads. We're going to come back to the ink pads, but we're going to grab the Stampin' Cut Emboss machine and do some die cutting so we could start putting things together. Because right now we're doing stamping, and then we can go back and finish. Okay. Alrighty then. So now we have the Stampin' Cut Emboss, or the Stampin' Cut Emboss machine. I'm going to squish out a little bit so then that it's not so down in. Come on. There we go. All right, so we're going to do a couple rolls through. Okay, so this one's going to have a flat edge to it. And because I am doing the outside, I want to kind of make it all equidistant. And because, like I said, this has a flat edge on it, we're going to put it at an angle so it doesn't go into our rollers. With that going straight on. Okay, so then our silver bloom is going to go also under here. So then that way we don't want the Post-it note to get in there. All right, now we're going to take this flower and we're going to line that up with the die cut. And there we go. We'll put that way so that the Post-it note doesn't go outside. Okay. And let's see if we can put this in here. I think we can. Woohoo! Okay, so now we're going to put our plate on top and roll through. Sorry about the shaking of the table. Okay, now I'm right-handed, so I always put it back over to the right side. And then we have our flower. Now I reused my Post-it notes. And we have our flower. And we'll put the die back on the, I lost my bits. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And so where, okay, there we go. I have something on my mat here, and I didn't want them to spread all over the place. Okay, so then now we're going to take this out, and that is, see, now when we put the paper on top of this, nobody's going to know that we cut that out. So that saves you money right there. And all right, my bloom is stuck. There we go. Come on out. There we go. And our bloom is ready to go. And then I can cut this and use that foil for something in the future, and then I don't have to break into another sheet. And I'm going to make sure that all the parts are out so that when I grab this die again, it is all cleaned out and ready to go. That way I don't have to double check to make sure are my dies all clean. Okay, and then this one, this is all clean. And then I can save this piece right here. I mean, I don't save every scrap. I'm not going to save that, but I do save my scraps because I paid for it. And I can use it for something else coming down the line. I may not know what it is right now, but there's no sense in me, and I'm going to take those off and throw that away. Make sure my paper is clean, or my platform is clean, my cutting plate. Okay, so then now we are going to cut these again at an angle. Now I could probably try cutting both of these at the same time, but I don't want to take a chance of the intricate design not being as intricate underneath it. So that's the reason why we're going to have to go through a third time. And I don't think I am missing anything. Like I said, this card may look like it takes a lot of work, but it's not. It just has different layers. And it's worth it, especially if you're making this for somebody special. Okay, so one more time, and then we can put the Stampin' Cut Emboss machine away. Now, if you don't have the Stampin' Cut Emboss machine, I suggest getting one, because the things that you can do with dies are so much fun. Now, there's a big one and a little one. I have both, and I use both. So don't ask me which one I like the best, because each has their own specific beauty to each one. All right, we are done. So we can put that back. Okay, so we're going to grab my silicone mat, and we're going to attach, we're going to use the stamp and seal. And this is going to go on my mat, because then that way, if I have any type of seal, it will come up just fine. And then we're going to attach this it's sticky. And that's the reason why I like to use my silicone mat, is because it sticks to the cardstock and not my mat, my glass mat. All right, so then now we're going to go in here and place this down, and it's going to be a very thin border. Just trying to move that over. I didn't push it down, but it just fell down, and I want it a little bit more fine. Come on, let go. It's kind of like teasing your cat or your dog, and you want to play with them, and you say let go, and they don't. All right, why do I not seem to have enough border over here? I had it. Come on. I need to move it over just a little bit more. I'm not looking at the... There we go. There we go. And there we go. Ha! There we go. Now that looks pretty. That is the inside. Okay. So then now we're going to take these pieces, and I'm going to leave this one blank. So we're going to take that and attach it to this one. Oh, slippery. Come on. There we go. Now it's being haven. All right, so then that one is going to go right here. No? Yes? Yes. I'm like, why does that look different to me? And we might make sure. There we go. Beauteous. Okay. So like I said, see how easy this card is coming together? Might as well just put all the adhesive on. Everybody. Okay. And this one just happens to be the similar color scheme of what I was doing. And if you want to be perfect, you can use your glass mat for the... I'm just eyeing it to make sure that everybody's put in the same exact spot. Okay, so this one we're going to put right here. And that is just going to go like that. And then this one It's going to go right there. And this one's going to go in the front. Okay. That is, I love this designer series paper. It's just so pretty. I'll just move that over to the side and there we go. Just a little bit. Come on, behave. It's like sticking to my fingers. Okay, there we go. Okay. So then now, that is what our card looks like so far. Then we are going to stamp the Let Joy. We're going to go put that in Secret C. And that's going to go right there. And then we are going to we're going to put this one over to the side. It's open. And we're going to take the cloud cover and we're going to hit that. And then we're going to take a finger dauber and we're just going to hit a little bit here and a little bit there. Okay, and then we're going to huff on it. Actually, I want my Stampin' Pearson mat. And that is going to go right there and allow that ink to transfer. And we have a little bit of cloud cover and the Secret C. And then we're going to grab our greens. This is Garden Green. And then we're just going to put that down like that. Give it a little bit of green. All right. Now I'm just going to take a moment to clean off some of these stamps because some of these colors can change the ink or the photopolymer, and I don't want them to change the coloring. They stain. Some of the colors stain. And so, like, you could see the Petunia Pop is one that stains. But you could still see through it. It's just not clear anymore. I mean, it's clear, but it's pink. Or peach, depends on how well you wipe it down. Okay. All right. We're good with that for now. All right, so then now we're going to do a different technique. And this one I want to sit down for just because I want to make sure that I am doing it right and I can see really good. So we're going to do that one first, Garden Green. And then we're going to do the Pretty in Pink. And then we're going to do the Petunia Pop. And we need some tape, some Scotch tape, and we're just going to because this doesn't fit perfectly, we're going to make this in different colors. So we're going to open up the garden green, and we're going to bend over, and we're going to put that tape. We are masking what we don't want to get inked up, okay? So there was a fuzzy there. All right, so we're just going to hit wear, okay? And just going to tap, 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 and then we're going to take that tape off. And so the only thing that is inked up is the wear. All right, and then now we're going to clean this off. And then we're going to close up the ink pad. And then we're going to do the same thing. Just make sure that it's dry. And we're actually going to do this one. I'm going to do the end next, or the bottom, I should say. Flip that over, because we're going to do the top and the bottom, and then we're going to center the center, okay? And this is Petunia Pop, and so I think I got all the ornaments on there, but I think I might have missed part of the E. So we're going to replace that. So we're just going to go planted, and take off. Don't set your finger in that ink. And I'm going to grab my Simply chamois and hit that spot. And we're going to go try that just in case. And we're going to go planted. Okay. And then we'll clean that again for the third time. But this way, I tried doing it with the markers and they weren't dark enough. And so I figured out how to omit. And that's what this is. It's omitting. So now we are going to do two pieces, because this is the word that's in the middle. So we want to make sure that everything is covered up. Oops. I almost covered up part of my Y. There we go. And there we go. And I think we are all ready to go. All right, hit. Now we're going to take off the inked tape, and we're going to set that right in the middle. It's a tad bit crooked, but not bad. Okay, so that is good. I'm happy with that. And then now we are going to adhere. I could have done, and I do this enough where I say I should have used adhesive sheets. And it's like, I do that, and then I'm like, doggone it, I should have used adhesive sheets. But you do that while you're live on, Facebook Live. Okay, so we're going to flip over the bloom, and we're going to hit it with a little bit of the Tombow glue. And we're just going to dot it. Now, you do not want to get glue on the foil. It will not turn out pretty. So make sure that your craft mat, your silicone craft mat, is free of adhesive. Okay? All right, so I'm going to put my glue back in my holder. And we're going to grab this where I did not put glue, hopefully. And you don't want to stretch this. You want to gently start down here and move it. Okay. I think it turned out pretty good. There we go. Because you want to be able to see this underneath. All right. Isn't that pretty? All right, so then now we are going to put together this piece right here. And we're going to put this on dimensionals. And we're going to grab take your pick tool, the people poker, and we're going to go 1, 2, 3, and 4. And we're just going to slightly at an angle stab and grab those backings and throw them away. Now, I was looking at this and I'm like, why didn't I put this on a silver piece? And I thought everything else had silver on it, and I know that it just would add more to postage. So I was just trying to save it a little bit. Okay, this might be a kind of card that you give to your friend, and rather than putting it in the mailbox. Okay, so now we are going to just line up, make sure it doesn't go off place. Now I'm actually going to flip this over, and then I'm going to put my adhesive on here. So then that way I am not going over, but it's sticking to my fingers. Okay, so then we're going to I'm just eyeing it. And we're going to go like that. Okay, and then now we're going to add some glue. Now let's just kind of look at where it's going. Okay, we're going to add this at an angle. Okay, so we can put it on the L's, the O's, and the M, but not on the little flippy part, and a little bit of the B. Okay, so there might be just a dot on that. So then that way it's not going to go over. Okay, so we're going to grab that Tombow glue again, and we're just going to put a line in here, a line in there, a circle, an M, and not the swishy part, and a little bit of that, okay, because it's going to hang over. Put that glue back. And now if you're afraid to grab it, put your people poker back, use your, take your pick tool to help put it, never mind. Take your pick tool to help you grab it and lift it up so that you're not getting any of the glue. Boy, this is just not working. There we go. So, because you don't want to get any of the glue on your fingers so that you don't want to hit the foil. All right, so there we go. Gosh darn it. There. Okay, so bloom, let joy bloom. Okay, and then now there's a little extra white stuff on here because it apparently shifted, so I am just going to cut it a little bit. So that it doesn't look too striking. You know, hello, here's too much white. Because somebody is going to win this card, and you're going to send it to somebody, I hope. So whoever's going to get it, I want them to like the card. Get out of the shadows. That's why I'm pointing towards the light. Go towards the light. Oops. Cut a little bit extra off of that flower, but nobody's going to notice. All right. It turned out okay. Okay. All right. The only person that's going to know are the people who watch this video. Okay, so then now we're going to add this flower right here, right at the edge. And we just want to know where to put that adhesive. Down in the corner, okay. And so we're going to take, I'm going to show you what I did to get these, and they're all stuck to me now. Okay, so I actually glued two pieces together. I took this one and this one, and I glued them together because I wanted the kind of coloring that coordinates with the Petunia Pop and the freesia, the fresh freesia. And so that was kind of what those look like when, oh, that one little part fell off. No, it didn't. So there it is. So I did those already except for the one. And that one is going to go back in the bin here, I hope. They're very staticky, so they like to stick to your fingers. Okay, so we're just going to take a little tiny bit of glue, and I'm going to show you what I did. I'm going to move things. All right, get rid of my dimensionals for now, and then bloom where you're planted. And so I am going to put a little tiny dot of glue right there, and I'm going to grab this piece now. It doesn't want to come. Come on. That's too tiny because it's the putty end. So then I'm just taking that and that so it drops. right on top. And then I'm going to put my, take your pick tool back together, and I'm going to take this one and go upside down, put a little tiny bit of glue, on there, and then we're going to put that right on top. I mean, isn't that pretty? You could see it better. So that's why I took the time to put these together. So hopefully they behave. And I just like the color combination when you put those two together. And so now we're going to finish the rest of the card. And so we're going to put glue. We're going to put one more right there. And then grab the people poker, or the that, let that sit on me for a second. All right, and put a little bit of glue right here. And then that. And just press down, okay? And then we're going to put one more right up here. Oops. Get back there. All right. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and then now we're going to put one right here in the corner. And 1, 2, and 3. Flip over. Go right there. And then we're going to put one right on the blue, the secret C. We're going to flip that around. Oh, come on, behave. All right, no behaving? Go right there. And then we have one right in the corner here. What we're doing is we're creating triangles because they are pleasing to the eye. Get over there. There we go. Behave. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. So as you see it, there's an odd number. And then when you open this up, we're not done yet. We still have one more thing to do. Well, 2 more things to do. I'm going to put one more right there. And we're going to put that one right there. I changed my putty, so it's very, very sticky. Okay, so now the glue can go away. And we're going to put the bloom where you're planted on the inside of the card. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to put adhesive on here. And we're going to make sure that it's the right direction. Okay, so, I'm going to get my little eraser out. Okay. Make sure that it is in there, just like that. And then we're going to lightly lay this down. So if we need to adjust to be straight, then we can. We want to make sure that when you have this open, or closed, I should say, then you don't see it. All right. So now we have to add our Wink of Stella. Okay. And that goes on everything. Okay, so we're going to do the highlighted bloom here on the petunia pop. And then we're going to do the little centers on the front of the flower. We're going to do the blue ones. Okay, and then the center of the, I would say these are roses or peonies, one of the two. And then we're going to open this up. And the little cone flower, the little blue ones. Now we don't have to clean it off because we're not grabbing any extra ink, because this is designer series paper, so we don't have to worry about transferring color. All right, and then one more cone flower. And then now we're going to do the hyacinth, I think. When I worked at the flower shop and we got hyacinth in, oh my goodness, that was one of the best scents ever. Like the Easter lilies, loved that when those came in. Okay. And I would just sit there, and I mean, literally, we go to Walmart, Mike and I, and he's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "I'm sniffing the plants. What do you think?" All right, so I'm going to clean this off in my trash bin and hit the flowers that we used. Now, I have to say, the cloud cover doesn't really show here as much as my original one did. But they are so pretty. Okay, I wonder, can you see that through the camera? I mean, does it glitter at all? I hope it glitters. If it doesn't glitter on the camera, it's going to glitter for the person who wins it. Okay, so what do you think about this accordion fold card? Is it something that you would like to win? And if you did win this card, who would you send it to? Or give it to, because, you know, it might be a little bulky to mail. Okay, now, this video is a Facebook Live, so it will last only 30 days. So you're going to want to do a thumbs up or a heart. Let me squish in a little bit. And you get a chance to win this card. If you leave a comment, that will get you a chance to win this card. And if you share this on your timeline, that will get you 2 entries. Now, hopefully, if you see this is hashtag number 407. If you go back to my Facebook Live to try to watch it and it's gone, it will be transferred also over to my YouTube channel. So make sure you like and subscribe, and hopefully, I mean, this is like one of the coolest cards in a long time. But like I said, it was pretty easy, and the measurements that I gave you work really well. And if you don't have silver, you don't have to use the silver foil. You can do another cardstock if you wanted to, but if you wanted to keep it a little light, don't forget the trick that I showed on how to cut out the silver foil on the bigger piece there to use our bloom. And we still have, leftovers. So I want to say thank you very much for hanging out with me on a Sunday evening. I will be hopefully doing a Facebook Live. I actually have a Facebook Live all planned out for Thursday. So hopefully the stuff that I'm doing for the event on Saturday, I'll be all done and ready to start packing. So I'll do that and get that ready to go. So thanks again I appreciate all the thumbs up and the love and the sharing and all the orders. So help a girl out. Have a great week, and I'll see you on Thursday. Happy stamping.